welcome to Shazzy Reads. I'm Shaz. Today we're going to be doing the Booktube Newbie Tag. So this is going to be like a Q&A where I answer some questions that will help you get more of a feel for what this channel is going to be like, and as well as more of a feel for what I am like. So the first question is, why did you start this Booktube channel? So I've been wanting to do this for the past couple of years. You know, I would see people doing it seemed like fun, a bit stressful, but it seemed like fun. And for me, I kind of felt like I lacked the confidence to do it. But I've been thinking I want to become more confident, and this also seemed like it would be a good way to just use my creativity for something. And I'm not sure if this is something I'm going to stick with. I have ADHD, so I do tend to pick up stuff because the dopamine levels are high and then I get bored of it. But I'm hoping that this is something that I'm going to stick with, and even if it's not, I think that it would be a good experience for me. So the second question is, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to Booktube? So I've got a few answers to this. Obviously the most obvious one is that we are all our own people, so everyone's going to bring something unique to it. For me specifically, you know, I'm Australian, I've got ADHD, I'm aromantic asexual, so those intersections of identity do inform my reading habits. I can bring unique views to certain books, and I can also and the books that I read are going to be different to what someone else might read. I also do know some Japanese, more so in reading rather than in speaking. So I will be talking about like a few light novels and manga on this channel that will not have come out in English. So that's a unique thing that I can offer. So I was really into light novels when I was in high school, and there weren't a whole lot of light novels available in English. So I ended up teaching myself how to read it through the internet, and I did take a couple of courses in uni, but I am mostly self-taught. I don't have any confidence in my ability to speak it, but I can read it. I do read a lot of untranslated light novels and manga, and I will talk about them sometimes on this vlog. I probably won't cover them in my reading wrap-ups though, just because I do read a lot of them, and I think that it would just make the wrap-ups too long. And also, once you get like really far in a series, it becomes hard to actually talk about it in a way that's going to be understandable if you haven't read all the volumes beforehand. And I do suspect that this channel, even though I didn't intend for it to be a booktube channel, I am going to do a few videos on anime as well. So it's going to be kind of like a hybrid channel between a book channel and an anime channel. The third question is, what are you most excited about with this new channel? I think I'm just excited to try something new and to learn new skills. I always enjoy picking up more knowledge, and I'm excited to just get my voice out there and to gain some confidence with that. And I'm also excited to learn how to edit videos, because that's something I've always been a bit interested in learning how to do. The fourth question is, why do you love reading? This is a hard one to answer for me because I've always been reading. Like, as soon as we learnt how to read, as soon as I was taught how to read, I just was always reading. It's a way for me to relax, and it's a way for me to learn new things about myself and to learn new things about other people and to experience things and to learn things that I would otherwise have no chance of learning, and to relate to other people and to feel connected to other people. The next question is, what book or series got you into reading? This is a hard one to answer because, again, like, as soon as they taught us how to read, I was pretty much straight into it. I always loved reading. So it's hard to think of a particular book or series that I really enjoyed reading when I got into it. I do remember absolutely adoring the fairy series. Like, there was this Fairy of the Rainbow series that I loved as a kid, and I also loved the Dragon Keeper series. So yeah, I've always been into reading. There's not a particular book or series that I can think of, but there were those books that I can remember like absolutely loving as a child. The next question is, what questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? I think I would ask them how long it took them to get used to the camera, and if they had any tips for getting used to it. I'm not used to talking to the camera yet. I end up having to cut out a lot from these videos because, you know, I stutter or something, and then I'm like, okay. So yeah, I would just be interested to know, like, how long did it take you to get used to talking to a camera, and how long did it take, and do you have any tips before getting used to it. The next question is, what challenges when starting a booktube channel do you think would be hardest to overcome? I think that the hardest for me will just be to get used to talking to the camera. I also think like keeping a consistent uploading schedule is going to be hard for me, because again, I've got that ADHD where it's hard for me to kind of keep up with something. And I think that figuring out like lighting and volume is going to be really hard for me, but I'm kind of excited to just learn about all that stuff. So if you have any tips, feel free to pop them in the comments below. The next question is one that I've kind of already answered, and that is, when did you start reading? Again, I've been reading for as long as I can remember. As soon as in preschool they taught us how to read, I was reading. I was someone who was super into it from the beginning. My dad used to take us up to the library on Saturday morning, so that was another thing that really contributed to my love of reading. There have been times when I've been through reading slumps, but there's never been a time when I've just stopped reading altogether. The next question is, where do you read? I read out in the lounge room, just because I find that if I'm sitting up, that's more comfortable for me. Also at night at the moment, after the news has been on, my mother and I will sit out in the lounge and we will just read for 2 hours together. Like, we'll read separate books, and that's been really nice. So yeah, I tend to read out in the lounge with 2 dogs on my lap. The next question is, what kind of books do you like to read? I like to read a bit of everything. I don't really like to constrict myself to just a single genre. I do tend to read a lot more fantasy and sci-fi, and lately I've been into like murder mysteries and detective stories and stuff like that. But I do occasionally read non-fiction. I don't tend to read a whole lot of romance unless something is like significantly hyped, just because, you know, I'm a romantic asexual and I just don't tend to relate to those kind of stories, especially if they've got heavy sexual content. The final question is, what does your book collection look like? So behind me, I've got on the top shelf, I've got my Agatha Christie books, because I've got a lot of them that I need to go through. I've got a couple of other older series that I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with them. Like, I've got the Haruhi Suzumiya series, which I'm not really into anymore, but I'm kind of like, seems like a bit of a waste to just get rid of them. Same with the Spice and Wolf series. And then I've got, like, on the middle shelf, my general book collection and some manga. And then on the lower shelf, I've got, like, the manga and light novels that I own a physical copy of in Japanese. So a lot of the time when I'm reading something in Japanese, I will get the ebook because it's a lot cheaper than trying to import this stuff from Japan. But whenever I've got a chance and I'm like in a place that sells these kind of things, I do tend to pick up a couple. And then I've got another bookshelf on that side. I might switch things around because my window's on that side, so if I switch things around so that my general book collection is on that side, then I can get more of that natural lighting. But I'm also like, it's winter, we're not going to have much natural lighting anyway, so we'll see what I end up doing with that. But yeah, so on that side I've got more books. I've got the books that I haven't read yet and some books that I want to reread. And I've got like a favourites collection, which that one I definitely do want to move so that you can actually see it in the video. That's got like, and that collection also has more Agatha Christie books and some Dorothy L. Sayers books, just to keep them all together. I also have another little bookshelf down below that has my recipe books in it. Yeah, that's it. The books that I get from the library I tend to keep on my bedside table, and then I will move them into the lounge room when I'm ready to read them. I believe those are all of the questions. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like this video, subscribe, comment, whatever you want. I'll probably see you next week. I've got this video that I filmed yesterday that's going to take me a while to edit, but I'm hoping that I will have that done and ready to go up next week. So I will see you then. Have a fantastic day. Bye.